It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Currently in Morrison's supermarket, they've got a little bit of a beer festival going on the end of an aisle. Well, it was at the end of my aisle in a Morrison's supermarket. Last year, same time, September, October time, I got a bottle of Woodforde's Brewery. Now, if you're a home brewer, you will probably know all about Woodforde's Brewery. It's one of the most well-known homebrew kits you can buy in supermarkets and homebrew shops. It's probably more well-known as a homebrew than it is an actual beer. At least when I seen it in Morrison's, I picked it up and bought it. Woodforde's Brewery, brought it home, reviewed it, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a terrific example of a beer. If you haven't seen my review of Woodforde's Brewery, have a little look at it. So this year, following on, 1 year later, they have a Woodforde's Nelson's. This is their bitter at 4.5% ABV in a 500 milliliter bottle. There's a look at the bottle cap. Now, the other end of the country for me, so I hadn't even heard of this beer before. Ooh. I'm excited to try it, but do you know what? I just opened that and that's the first time. I mean, if you want to rewind the video and watch it again, that's the first time ever I've opened a beer and there's been no smoke on the bottle opening whatsoever. And there's no smoke, nothing, while I wiggle the beer around. Ugh. So the great big build-up I gave this beer, hoping I was gonna... I'm still excited to try it, but I'm a little wary now. I don't know. I reckon if I give it a bit of a drop pour, a bit of a rigorous pour, we're gonna get a... Well, okay. Well, let's not be too negative going into the review. Okay, we didn't get any smoke on the bottle opening, but I'm not smelling any even from this distance. There's no off flavours. Nothing wrong so far. Rigorous pour, there's not much carbonation. But it won't. When you open a beer and there's no psst on the can, or there's no psst on the bottle, there's no smoke on the opening, then you know there's going to be a little bit of trouble. This is an undercarbonated beer. But I'm still excited to try it because I absolutely adored Woodforde's Brewery. This could be very much just a problem with my bottle. Now, it could be that the bottle cap wasn't fastened properly, it wasn't quite on properly, a little bit of air was allowed into the bottle, and air is terrible for everything. Just leave a piece of bread out for 20 minutes, your slice of bread will be rock hard. Air is no good for anything apart from breathing. I'm making myself laugh today. Right, there is a little bit of carbonation down the side of the glass. It is amber in colour. Let's get the aroma. Ooh. It smells okay. This might be a batch issue. This might just be a batch issue, and it's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate that there's still no off flavours, but there's nothing really flying out of the glass up my nose to make me go, ooh, I really want to get stuck into this one. It's a bit... There's a little bit of licorice, there's a little bit of biscuit malt. Let's dive into it anyway. As flat as a witch's... I won't say the last word. Tasting the beer is actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. But there's something about an uncarbonated beer that just makes the whole experience... Ugh. Look at the condition of the beers. Look as I rock the beer back and forth. I mean, I definitely think this is a batch issue. There might be a follow-up review. I might send this to Woodforde's and I might see if they would be willing to send me something carbonated. This beer, but carbonated. Because I think this beer, there's a lot of potential here. There's a touch of licorice, it's biscuity, it's bready, it's nutty, it's drinkable, it's refreshing. There's a nice bitterness on the back end, there's a slight sweetness to begin with. But there's just something about an uncarbonated beer. And I'm sure most of you, pretty sure most of you are on the same wavelength as me, that it just... It's just not quite right, you know, it's just not where the brewery would probably want this beer to be. And I mean, if they're watching from the brewery, you've only got to rewind to the part where I got the bottle opener on and that cap come off. You yourselves are probably watching it going, yeah, unfortunately this might be a batch issue. I am a massive fan of your brewery. Woodforde's Wherry is, and I stand by this, a terrific example of a bottled ale. I was really looking forward to this. Really looking forward to it. It's a little bit sad, really, but I have to show integrity. I always show integrity. I will post this video because this is how it rolls. Most of the time, you get great beer, but on occasion, something goes wrong. And I think if you post the videos where everything is right all of the time, everything is perfect, then there's a little, for me, there's a little sniff of everything's always rosy in the garden. Whereas in life, it's not always rosy in the garden, is it? And that's why I post these videos. That's why it shows my honesty, it shows my integrity, it shows my, you know, it's the reason why you guys tune back, is because if I'm not honest, then you're not going to tune in. None of you are silly people. None of you are silly people. It's just a shame that it's turned out like this. Lovely flavours, but just flat. Really, really flat. Real shame. Real shame. So there's a little bit of roastiness coming through as well. There's a little bit of kind of toasty, nutty, bready. There's lots going on. There's lots of malt. There's lots of toastiness. There's lots of everything. Lots of licorice. A little bit of peppery spiciness on the back end. There's a little bit of sweet. It's a lovely bitter. It's a lovely example of a British best bitter. It's just doesn't have that bottle carbonation that we all know and love, don't we? So the beer has bags of potential. If this was carbonated, I would be dancing around the room. But there's something about a flat beer that just kind of like dampens the occasion, doesn't it? So real shame, real shame. Woodforde's Norfolk Nelson's bitter, 4.5% ABV, described as Nelson's, is a delicious classic bitter made with 5 different varieties of hops. It has a complex citrus and spice aroma. Malt notes from roasted Norfolk barley pays homage to Admiral Nelson and his crew, a true Norfolk hero. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I'm still going to give it a 6. I'm still going to give it a 6 out of 10. Bags of potential. I think if the beer was carbonated, I would be saying 9 out of 10. So there might be a follow-on video. If Woodforde's watched this video, we get talking and there's an email that goes back and forth, then I might be making another video. But if not, buy it. It's got bags of potential. Your bottle might be carbonated. Unfortunately, I'm going to give it a 6 because mine wasn't. I hope you liked the video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.